Hey, Barry here. Welcome to the first Spooky Goop video. And this is one I've really been wanting to do because as much as I love a lot of the videos that I've seen showcasing the Puppet Master movies on DVD and Blu-ray, no one's really done a very good job. And so I thought what I would do is I would put forth a video of what I have, talk through the different sets that are out there, and just give you an idea of what you're looking for if you're looking to buy these or collect these. For me, it's always great to go onto YouTube and see a video of someone really showing off the packaging, the discs, etc. just so you get an idea of what you're getting into before you actually make that purchase. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the original DVD set that came out, and I also have a couple loose discs here. Then we're going to be looking at the box, the trunk, the first trunk attempt that came out when the 9th film released. And then we're going to look at some of the standalone Blu-rays and even a 4K release that came out. And then finally, the big puppet trunk that released. So of course the Puppet Master movies were most popular as VHS rentals. That's really what kept the series going. But in, I want to say around 1999, 2000, this set came out, and what it does is it collects the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and even seventh film of the franchise. So that was going all the way up to 1999, and it also includes a bonus disc which includes 45 trailers. And I think this came out around 1999 or 2000 because, as you can see here, it says Full Moon Pictures, which was what they were going by, and you can also see at the bottom here, I believe either here or inside, it says, I think it's Kushner and Locke, which was their distributor at the time. So opening this up and taking a look, you can see that they feature each film with the poster art, simplistic but quite beautiful. I think it really retains the fun of the VHS releases. And then the 45 trailer reel. And a little funny thing, I believe I bought this for over 50 bucks on eBay used, and then inside it comes with a receipt where the guy clearly bought it for 30 bucks. So he made a good profit off me. But I love the trailer disc is just the very simple full moon logo there, which you get in their logo. And then outside of that, I'm not going to open every single one, but you can see that's just pretty basic. You have your disc, which matches the cover art. Nothing really else. Let's open all of them in terms of inserts. The second one, weirdly, the disc, like the case is different on these ones. Puppet Master 1. And they do have bonuses, so all in all, it's a solid set if you're looking for the original classics and some of the later sequels. It's obviously not complete because it ends in 1999. Now there are some other DVD releases here. You can see Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys, which was released by the Sci-Fi. We're actually produced by the Sci-Fi Channel and released by Anchor Bay. You can see there. So no Full Moon connection here, and you're not going to find this on their website. And you're actually not even going to find it in any release outside of this release here. So this is getting a little rare. I've seen it selling for over 50 bucks now. I think it's a fun movie. Not great, but enjoyable. And then, of course, here we have Puppet Master: The Legacy, which was really the final film for quite some time. It came out in 2003. It was really a clip show, and I believe it was made with Blockbuster in mind. So they were selling this at Blockbuster alongside the other releases just to keep interest in the franchise, and also to, I believe, I don't know, it was almost like a love letter, like a V-end, a big V-end for the franchise at that time. So in total, you know, you can get a pretty decent DVD collection here, but the video quality is not great. It looks like it's a VHS tape at times. And also a lot of these films were remastered and re-released to DVD. I'm not going to be showing those off because, as we'll see in the next collection, we have the Blu-ray releases that came out alongside remastered DVDs. But of course, if you want the best quality, you're going to be going for the Blu-ray over the DVD. Now, before I dive into the Blu-rays, I did want to show this off. So this was sold on the Full Moon Direct website, and it was to celebrate the release of Puppet Master Axis of Evil, which was the 9th film in the franchise, and really the revival. And so you could buy it in two ways. You could either get it with Blu-rays or DVDs. I opted for the DVDs because I had not yet upgraded to Blu-ray at that time. But you can see here, here's the Axis of Evil DVD that was included, and then a remaster of the original Puppet Master. And this one is digitally restored and remastered in 16:9 widescreen with 5.1 audio, and it looks great in my opinion. At least at the time it really did. I think the Blu-ray obviously is a upgrade, but it was just such a fun release to come out. It had this Charles Band Authenticity autograph. It also had this mini poster, which is so tiny, which is basically like a rolled up postcard on poster material. And then there was this collector cards. I actually have two of them. I bought one or received one for free off of their site with another order. So this one's empty. I actually have them in a card binder, and this one's sealed. But it's basically the poster art which you saw on the DVDs over there of all the films. And then finally they included these little stickers, so you could put stickers of all the main puppets. Pretty cool. So yeah, overall it was a fun little celebratory release. Definitely, you know, a collector's item, not a completionist's item, because you're not going to get the whole set here. But it was a great way to celebrate the revival of the franchise and the original film that started it all. Moving on here, I have some of the first Blu-rays I picked up. So the Puppet Master films, of course, like I mentioned, they had that Blu-ray of the first film that came out, and then following up on that, they did the sequels here. So we have 2 and 3. And I was holding off because I was thinking maybe they'd do a big set, and then they announced this Volume 1 box. And so it's a very, flimsy box, nothing super special about it, but I really like that it collects all 3 films in here. But unfortunately, they never continued with more volumes. They just... I think from here they might have done a box set, and then they started doing standalone releases. They definitely did, as you can see here, 4 and 5 released on standalone. But there was, at the time, no release of Curse of the Puppet Master to give you like a Volume 2 box to go alongside with it. So that's where I kind of stopped for a while with my Puppet Master Blu-ray collecting. And I just kind of relied on these and then the DVD sets that I showed. However, since then, I did pick up Blade, the Iron Cross, which is the little spin-off standalone film, and then the really weird reboot from another studio that released alongside the other films. And this is the only time that a Puppet Master film saw release on 4K. So it's... I don't know, like, I at first was really into the film. I was watching it, I'm like, this is, like, pretty good. You know, the acting is good, the characters are interesting, but then they showed the puppets, and the puppets weren't really the stars. They were more just, like, little, like, killing machines, and they had no personalities to them, and then it has one of the, like, biggest downer endings I've ever seen for a movie. So, if you're a fan of the series, it's worth checking out. I probably will never watch this again. It's a really depressing film, to be quite honest. I mean, it's got like kids getting killed and stuff. Like I don't really want to be entertained by that. Next up, we are going to be taking a look at the trunk, and finishing things off with a bang. We have the massive puppet trunk, and I mean, this thing's huge. It's larger than the discs inside, obviously, because there's so much extra space being taken up by the doors, by some space below here. As far as the design, it's cool, but if you've seen renders of this, it appears much brighter, and in person, it's very dark. it's like the stickers are almost transparent on top of a dark material. So if this is dark and this is transparent, this is going to appear dark. It's so dark. It's really hard to actually see a lot of the details, just because this thing is like, I don't know, it's dark. What can I say? But then again, some of the films are pretty dark, so maybe it's fitting. Opening it up here, though, very well constructed. It's made of wood. These are like hard cardboard boxes, and the intent is that you would buy these little PVC figures, which I actually have, but they're carded, so I don't have them loose, and you can put them in here. I've also found that you can fit the recently released action figures, the smaller ones from, I believe it's Nika Toys or something, so they fit really well in here too. As far as the discs, very nice presentation, though I don't like, and I've seen other people point this out on videos, that this is just wasted space. It's not a drawer or anything to like keep ephemera. Like they could have put maybe like little posters like the other trunk had, or stickers or something in here, but it's just hollow wasted space, and all the discs are up here. I presume when they're making more movies, they're going to start shrinking this graphic down and building this down until you can, you know, fill the whole thing with Puppet Master films. But it's a minor nitpick of mine. It's tight, though. I mean, they do slide out, but it is tight. You can't just pick them out. You kind of have to pour them out. And what I really like here, then, is that, I mean, even though these are straight up the same content that was on the previous discs that I showed, they do have alternate cover art, at least for the first film, which looks really nice here. And then the cover art for all of them is uniform, so it has this template where it's the poster artwork inside here, the logo in this like silver, and so as you can see, and let me see if I can actually get the first Blu-ray release in hand here, you can see the difference. So same disc, same contents, but design-wise, they changed it up so that it matches the new set. And you're going to see that as well with the second and the third films. It also comes with this nice little booklet, which has a introduction from Charles Band. Gets a little close to the edge there. I don't know why they designed it that way, but it's nice. You get to have poster art for all of the films, as well as a little commentary. It's interesting, though, because it's not like they talk constantly about how low the budget is, or how some of the films are like not that great. They're like, it's not great, but it's better than people probably thought it would have been. And then on the back here, you get what is actually, I believe, alternate cover art for a Blu-ray release that was put out inside of a mock VHS box. So it's cool to get the art here to see it again if you didn't pick up that release. And then moving on to the other discs in here, of course, following up with two. I'm not going to open every single one, but you can see here, it's you can see this disc here, and if I open up the case for Puppet Master 2 with the other release, I wonder if it's going to be the same. Yeah, it's the same art. So now you're just seeing straight up the same discs from the previous releases, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, they're good releases of the films, but you're not going to be seeing new disc art. You're just going to be seeing new cover art for this box. And the third film, Puppet Master 4 and 5, which I think is a really great duology. It's kind of the last truly good Puppet Master films, in my opinion. Curse, which everyone always talks about how this guy is carving a puppet throughout the entire film, and then in the end he turns into like a robot. So it's like, what was he carving? Was he carving a metal robot? I don't know. And this is where we start getting into discs like with Curse and with this one that did receive standalone releases, but this is the first time I was really getting them. So it's interesting to see them finally in 16:9 HD. I think they look quite nice. This is probably one of the last films I enjoyed a bit from the franchise. Then we got into Legacy, which, to be honest, like this getting a Blu-ray release is wild to me because it's just such a kind of a garbage film. I really like now that I have the entire Axis trilogy. Again, not the greatest films, but I'm glad they stuck to their guns and released all 3 of them to disc. And then finally we have Blade the Iron Cross, which saw another release here, because I did show earlier that I do own it in its original edition, and not too much of a change here. They just moved the logo up, but then they repeated it twice. I don't know why. Still, nice to have it in the set. And then finally, the Arcana of the Puppet Master, which is the bonus disc, which has hours of features, like behind the scenes, just raw footage, 3 hours of footage from the 3rd film, 3 hours from the 2nd, a little 5-minute bit here, hour and a half of behind the scenes footage from the 2nd film. And as you can see, it's a thin Blu-ray case for this, and that's because when they re-released this set, they included this disc, but it meant making this one thinner. So it makes me wonder if they're going to start making all of the releases thinner if they keep making movies. Who knows? But all in all, it's a fun franchise. I really like collecting it, and I would say this is your best bet getting it. I got it during a sale for, I believe, $190. It's typically $250, which is insane. I even think the $190 is a bit insane. But you know, that was the cheapest I was seeing it, and it was a great way to finally just round out the entire collection. Yeah, so let me know what you think of this video, what you think of the Puppet Master films, and I'm looking forward to making more of these types of videos showing off my collection, my movies, things like that. I work, they don't pay me. I do a lot of content for segabits.com. We have a YouTube channel, Segabits, so you can see a lot of my stuff there. I also do Patreon stuff for Rebel Force Radio. We do a podcast called The Babu Freaks. So if you like my Star Wars content or my Sega content, you're watching this, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Spooky Goop.